Oh hey, I'm Lucas Quadros, and this is the Unblended Show.
Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some.
And today we'll be covering a very intellectual topic, which is how to make coffee with beer. There are 3 steps to this video. Step number 1, we'll use 2 methods to preparing coffee with beer. The first one is to use beer as a basis, and for that we'll use a French press. The second one, we'll mix beer with coffee, but for this instance we'll use a flash cold brew, for which we will use a Chemex. So we're gonna do the 2 methods simultaneously. We're gonna start with the Chemex, and for that it's very important to use a paper filter, as you guys know probably if you're watching this video. So it is very important to wash off the coffee filter, so we get rid of those paper flavors. Alright, so you let it sink a little bit, and then you pour it out. Okay, very simple. For the cold brew method, we'll be using ice inside of the Chemex. With the filter back on, I've already grinded to medium grind this coffee, and I'll talk about the coffee itself afterwards in a different section. I've measured 12 grams of coffee for each 150 milliliters. So in this instance I have 24 for 300 milliliters of water. Right, it's just like doing a Chemex. We'll start with the bloom, and while that sinks in, we're gonna prepare the second method, for which we'll use the beans themselves, and we'll use the beer as the base. So I've measured out about 1/8 of a French press. We'll use, both of these are different brown ales that I found from local brewers, but I'm gonna include in the links where you can get coffee and where you can get beer, as well as which beers mix well with which coffees. Put a little bit on top, and then we're just gonna let it sink until we're done with our Chemex here. Now remember guys, it doesn't have, the Chemex doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going for a cold brew here. We want to get as much of the flavor of the coffee as possible. I've put a jar here with some ice, so when this is done I'll put it here. Now but by this time we have already passed about 2 and 3 minutes of the beer sitting with the coffee in the French press. It's very important to let it sit there, even though we lose a little bit of temperature. As of the Chemex, as you've seen, it's already passed a little bit too long. Now when you do it at home, you don't have to let it sit as long, because we're just going for a cold brew. And then in a different container, I've put some ice, a lot of ice. So what we're gonna do next is pour our cold brew into a container with more ice. And we take our beer glass, we pour again about 1/8, and now you guys can play with the ratio of beer to coffee and coffee to beer and so on. It depends on the type of beer and the type of coffee. A little bit too much. Now we put the beer. Slowly. And proceed with the next one. We press the beans to the bottom. You might get some carbonation coming out. So we have the two preparations right next to each other, ready to enjoy. Salud. Well, I hope you found this this video cool, and perhaps it inspired you to do something new at home, which is, if you're a fan of coffee, to mix it with maybe your favorite craft brew to see what comes out. I just wanted to pique your interest, but I also wanted to encourage all of you to go and support your local brewer and your local roaster. And I would encourage you to even go further and talk with them about what aromas are in their beers or coffees, what flavor profiles do they recommend. So start getting to know specialty coffee and start getting to know craft beer, and you will find that in understanding them, it opens up this amazing world of possibilities when you can mix them. So thank you for watching my first YouTube video. Salud.